Fossil hunting and collecting with Chris. Digging fossils, finding fossils. Paleontology, trilobites, science, evolution, devotion. On a mission, Cambrian, digging those fossils. Come and join us, a journey you can't refuse. Fossils everywhere, ancient fossils, splitting more layers, finding more fossils. So many fossils, dinosaur, digging fossils. Fossil hunting and collecting with Chris. Fossil hunting and collecting with Chris. Fossil hunting and collecting with Chris. Stratigraphic map to guide us into deep time. Now we're covered in ancient dirt, finding prehistoric monsters. Fossils everywhere. Take up and join us. A journey you can't refuse. Fossils everywhere. Ancient fossils, splitting more layers, finding more fossils. So many fossils, dinosaur, digging fossils. Fossil hunting and collecting with Chris.
Don't see anything on this one. Still just regular rock. Gonna break up one more slab right over here. Comes up easy enough though. Hi ladies and gents, welcome to Fossil Hunting and Collecting with Chris. We are back to one of my favorite places. Last fall, we were back here with a group of people from the New York Geological Society, and we found a whole bunch of isotelus with some really nice trilobites. I'm hoping we're able to do the same today. I'm here with my friend Mike and John, and we're going to bring you in if we find anything good, and I'm pretty sure we will. So thank you so much for watching. Let's see what happens next. Well, nice big rock, but I don't see any fossils in it. And likewise for the layer below it. So Ray has made the first find of the day. A giant isotelus tail. So we got that actually right out of a block in the water. So we're not sure exactly where it came from, but that is a spectacular find. So Ray is off to a good start. how he finishes, we never know. So Mike's showing us an ammonite. Looks like an ammonite. Oh yeah, I would say it's definitely an ammonite. And they've been found here. We found some on the last trip, just curled up like that. So I think it is. Oh yeah, you got a variety of creatures in here. So that's a good layer. Really beautiful cephalopod. Thank you very much for showing us this, Mike.
I hope I can show you something better soon.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another little one right there.
It's still the cephalopod, really well preserved.
Pretty well preserved, yeah. At least up here, this region.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, have a very big slab. It looks like it's about to come up. Big slab means more chance for fossils. All right, nothing obvious. Nothing on that, but a cut finger for my efforts. Here we have a little gastropod or a snail. I'm not going to disturb the little snail. I'm going to work over here instead. Whoa, are those two ants fighting each other? What is going on? Timber. All right, some Graptolites. At least that's a sign of life. Splitting fairly well. probably pull it apart now. Yeah, not the Graptolites, not seeing much else.
What's he doing here?
Yes, John has some kind of, looks like a trilobite. And is this a, and you also have a,
Cephalopod.
yeah, cephalopod right there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You got 2 in 1. Good find. Thank you for showing us that, John. Okay. So here we have a living trilobite. For some joking, it looks a lot like a trilobite. There's a little beetle. It's almost.
It's a beetle larvae, yeah.
Oh, beetle larvae. Well,
you turn them over, you can see his legs. I don't have
but very often the larvae look a lot like what they're descended from, which makes sense.
Like it looks like a trilobite.
Yeah. Very cool. Thank you for showing us that.
Okay.
Of course, every find happens off camera. So I pulled out a big piece of rock up from under here, and right at the surface had this this tail of an isotylus. So it looks like I'm not completely striking out. Looks like there might be more of an isotylus here, or possibly a different one. So actually, at least a partial on the scoreboard. That's a strange plant. I've never seen that before. I don't know what that is.
That's a lock. You can unlock it. Doesn't unlock this. Yeah, I see. It's kind of weird. I'm gonna hold it in my right hand.
Well, you can switch that handle to the top. See, there's a hole in the top, or you can screw it onto another side if you want.
Oh, I see. Looks new.
Yeah, that's what I said.
See the 2 eye spots there in the nose. And it looks pretty mangled. I'm missing this cheek.
Oh yeah.
So that's one.
Yeah.
Number 2 is even in worse shape. Better go in the sun. You can kind of see the rostrum will be here.
Yes.
The nose, and you're going to see the eyes.
Is that matching to the other one or no?
No, separate.
Very nice.
But you have some of the skin there on the cheeks.
And you have a third?
The third one is, I took part of that away. But this is what's left of it on the
Oh
big
yes,
one.
the one you sent me.
Yeah, this is...
Has some calcite on it.
Not too much. But there you go, the tip. And then the piece I have here that came off is of the eye. So the eye is preserved in that piece that popped off. So you see the cheeks would be here and here and here.
Yep.
It's ventral.
Where's the other rock?
Yeah. And it looks like there's something next to it too. So there could be something there.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for showing us that. All right, been a while since we found anything, so the camera hasn't been on, but found a cephalopod. This partial one, looks like there's more of it underneath a layer there. Matching half is, there it is. There's the matching half. So, better than nothing, found a little cephalopod. Alright, so, another big cephalopod. The cephalopods have been pretty generous. Not so much the trilobite. And trilobites and cephalopods hang out together, so I don't know why we're not seeing more trilobites. But the cephalopods are here in the house. I'm trying to find the other half of this one. It might be in pieces, we'll see. This is weird, I'm just not seeing the other half of that big cephalopod. As Mike Katzer would say, there is no other half. I'll bring it in if I find it. All right, found it. This one did have another half.
Picked up this beach rock just because it was pretty, and when I flipped it over, there is...
Look at that. And Mike, do you know what trilobite that is?
Let me see.
Wow. Is that a triorthus?
That would be the best guess, but
Yeah.
it works for me.
That, yes. That is nice. We were a little bit surprised to find a triorthus trilobite at this location because it's actually the wrong formation. We're digging in the Lorraine formation. The Lorraine schist has a lot of those giant isotylous trilobites that we're looking for. The triorthus that we saw comes from the Utica Shale. Both of these formations were laid down when this part of New York was part of the ocean. It was about 30 meters underwater. And as sediments filled in from the land around, it preserved these fossils. These fossils are found in these formations in the area. But why are we seeing something that seems to be from a different formation up in a different portion of the river? Well, if you look at this rock, it's a bit rounded. And rounded rocks in rivers tend to indicate transport. So our best guess is that this rock came from the Utica Shale. The Utica Shale formation, which is just underneath the Lorraine formation, probably was washed in from a different area of the creek. Now back to the show. Over here, I see a little cephalopod in the rock, which means that even though that one looks like it's a bit worn out and beat up, it tells me that this is probably a layer where there may be life. Also, there are some weird swirls in the rock next to it. So that could have been caused by something, could have been caused by life. So I'm gonna pull up this stuff and see if there's anything good in here. I'll let you know if there is. All right, once again, a large amount of rock, but nothing much to show for it. All right, now we have a pyritized cephalopod. So at least there was something in that big rock. So now I'm noticing, in addition to the pyritized cephalopod over there, there's another large non-pyritized cephalopod here and partly underneath that part that's still on there. So I'm going to see if I can prop this down because it's a huge piece. I don't like field propping, but this is just too big. So I'm going to try and break this down a little bit so it's more manageable and I can work on it at home. Here's the second cephalopod, and there's one and another one, maybe 1, 3, I don't know. Very interesting. Yep, still hear it splitting. It's gonna come up in pieces. Yeah, well, I guess that's why they don't go for the easy stuff. Sometimes it just pays to take a walk around and see what's out there. So Mike found a plate with multiple trilobites.
No, it's the same trilobite. I just split it.
That tail's part of it too, or?
Yeah, I don't know what that's doing there. Twisted. But that's the same trilobite. I just split it.
Well, very nice, and that's not all. Here we go, another little cephalopod. Both negative and positive, and pretty much 100% there. And even a little bit of pyrite as well. Oh, cephalopod. Let's take a close look now at the pieces that I brought home. Here's a piece that I brought home because of this trilobite tail. You can see that there's looks like a pygidium. I'm thinking it's the tail of a trilobite inside this rock. It also looks like there may be more revealed underneath this section here, which looks like it may come up. So this could be a really good piece. However, it'll also end up being a very fragile piece if I pull it apart now. So what I'm going to try and do is do the cutting first. I'm going to cut here, because I know there's no trilobite over here. The cut over here. And the question is how far to go this way. Well, I might go all the way to here, just to make sure I don't come anywhere near the trilobite. So let's go ahead and set this up to get cut. So here we go, cut number 1. Going to turn it around now. Cut number 3. After cutting this edge off, this little corner also came off and lifted up, and looks like I might only have a tail here. Tail and just a little bit of flora on top there. Not totally sure though, but I think now that we're dealing with probably just a tail and maybe a little bit more, I think now it's not going to be too problematic to risk lifting this top here and see if we're dealing with anything more than just a little tail. So now, see a tail here, don't see too much else. By the way, do see lots of graptolites in here. So this rock is full of prehistoric life. What I'm going to do is very carefully separate up the parts that might come up above that little tail, because there could be more. It could be part of a disarticulated trilobite in here. So I'm going to very carefully, very patiently, hitting it from a number of different angles and see what we can get up. Because if there is more of a trilobite under here, I want to try and get it all together, not in little pieces. So here's what's going on here. Have a tail, nice big isothelous tail. Looking down a little bit deeper, looks like there's like a whole bed of graptolites. That looks really interesting too. So I'm going to try to do is, without damaging it, cut out the tail and save the rest of the rock to split down and find all the rest of the life that's inside it. Okay, tapped off the extra. Luckily, didn't break the part I wanted to keep. So that worked out really well. I just need to get it cut across that way and we should be good. And voila, here it is. We have the pygidium of an isothelous, sadly nothing else preserved here, and there'll be some graptolites showing up as soon as this dries also. So success for what was there. We would have hoped for a whole trilobite, but at least we have evidence of an isothelous. So what I'll be doing now is, after this dries, I'll be putting some preservative on it, because this stuff falls apart so easy. It can crumble after it gets wet. So we'll let it dry out and then put a little protectant on it, probably some Krylon clear coat. But nice trilobite pygidium. Okay, now we also have another little scrap with a trilobite pygidium on it and some graptolites. And this looks like there's actually some original shell underneath the rock there, maybe some more to be found. So I'm gonna just cut off this jagged edge at the top and bring this in to be carefully prepped inside. And voila. All right, now this piece is very promising. We have part of a trilobite sticking out over here, and I want to cut this so that I'm making sure I'm maximizing the possibility for the trilobite to still be in there and get preserved. Looks like there is sort of a disturbance in the right shape of a trilobite, so there's a possibility it might be in here. It would be very delicate work to get it out, so that's something I'm capable of doing. So the first thing to do is to get rid of the excess on it. I'm pretty sure that the trilobite is not over here, especially since it's exposed and we don't see anything. So I can remove this pretty safely. A trilobite with a rim this size is not going to be any longer than about there, so I can get rid of this pretty safely. And of course, I can get rid of that pretty safely. The only problem is this is very fragile rock, and I want to try to avoid it splitting apart when I'm making these simple cuts. So let's see how it goes. this piece cut very well. We have the partially showing trilobite, the rest that may very likely be under here, and fine prep work will let us know if that's there. I will have to let you know. Hey, here's a giant piece, and the reason that I took it home is actually kind of small. We have a couple of cephalopods, pretty nice cephalopods over here, a lot of graptolites, and a disarticulated trilobite. So nothing spectacular, but as a whole, kind of worth taking home. Plus, this piece on top, after I cut it, I'm going to pry that up and see if there's more cephalopods, or who knows, maybe even trilobite parts underneath it. Here we have a nice big and beautiful cephalopod. I just want to trim down the rock, or maybe a little bit on the bottom, a little bit on the top. We actually have both halves of this. This is a really nice Ordovician cephalopod. And here we go. Our nice Ordovician cephalopod. I decided to trim a little bit more. And here we go. Here is the matching half of that cephalopod. I'm going to cut that down as well. We'll have a nice matching set. And the matching piece. Now over here we have another little cephalopod and its matching counterpart, and they only need a slight trim, so I'm going to do that really quick, and we have another nice little match set. I'm looking now through the scraps here, and I see a trilobite head. I gotta try and find the rest of this now, because there might have been a trilobite here. Where is the rest of this piece? It should be in these scraps. And of course it's going to be elusive. Alright, I'm going to go through this really carefully. I will let you know if I find it. Okay, so I did a little more cutting off camera, a couple other things I want to show you, and then we'll just wrap everything up. I cut out some pieces that have graptolites, those mysterious creatures from the Ordovician. The entire phyla is extinct, and I have a really nice set graptolites right here that I'd like to show you. I have, still a little bit wet from cleaning it, but this plate that is just covered with these graptolites, basically a graptolite death assemblage. And here's the matching half. So just split that bed open right in the perfect spot and got a really nice cross section of these hundreds of graptolites from the Ordovician. I'm going to do a very brief wrap up because you saw me cutting a lot of these rocks. Before I do though, I'm going to ask that if you like what you see, if you like fossil hunting videos, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe. it really helps the channel. And for you, don't forget to hit the bell icon, because that will let you know when these videos show up on YouTube. Thank you very much. So here's the wrap up. So while I was collecting out there, found a whole bunch of cephalopods. We did really well as far as cephalopods go. Personally, I didn't do great as far as trilobites go. Some of my friends did though. We saw some really good things found by Mike, Ray, and John. But the ones that I did find, found a very nice spaghettium, found a very nice trilobite tail. And I found this trilobite that I'm reasonably certain is going to be inside the rock. In fact, I actually have the matching piece over here. This matches to the half that's in the rock right over here. And as I lift this up very carefully, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to prep out a really nice trilobite. You have to very carefully prep that out in order to reveal the trilobite. So I think I have one good one, but it's going to take a lot of prep work. And we also saw that other trilobite head. So that's our finds. I hope you enjoyed this. Happy fossil hunting and collecting.
Fossil hunting and collecting with Chris. Digging fossils, finding fossils. Paleontology, trilobites, science and evolution. Devonia, auto vision, carry on, digging those fossils.